Or they promised if you want to, yes.
Well, thanks for clearing that up. So anyway, Cinco de Mayo is a big deal if you're in Puebla today. Cinco de Drinko is what's going on in the U.S. because it's an excuse to say, I think I will dive into a pool filled with margaritas. I'm not advocating you do that. Certainly don't operate heavy equipment after that. But just a little departure with salt on the rim from all the other craziness in the world, which brings us to Vladimir Putin, who is reportedly practicing like nuclear rehearsals and chemical attacks, and he's been doing this kind of stuff. It's like North Korea; they'll say they're doing it, and there's always, we do know that the Ukrainian military and volunteers and stuff, just the population have been making Putin go even crazier. So now, Putin's going to have some war games here by these NATO countries. Our friend Nadia Vecina is a radio talk show host and occasional guest on our show, and we stay in touch with her on a regular basis. It looks like things in the middle of Kyiv, where you live, are getting better. You posted a couple pictures yesterday. It looks like a nice spring day, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the problems are over, does it?
The weather is really good, right? It's getting warmer and everything is so beautiful and wonderful. One little thing that rockets are yesterday they kicked several rockets. Day before yesterday were rockets above Kiev. They kicked them out, so everything is fine and everybody is safe. So they're flying.
The deterrent is working from Ukraine, but you're still hearing the occasional, even as a springtime day soundtrack, air raid sirens.
Well, excuse me, can you repeat?
You're still hearing some air raid sirens no matter how pretty the weather is.
Yes. And but basically, if to compare with what it was when Russian troops were like 10 kilometers from Kiev, of course, right now everything is super fantastic. The cafes are trying to open, some banks are opening, stores were open before that also, not everything, but they were. So Kiev is step by step getting back to normal life. But you remember, it was a COVID for 2 years, everything was almost closed, and then war started the big war. So many crazy things are happening, and we are already joking in Kiev, like, what is next? Like, is it gonna dinosaurs came back on the earth, or what? What can it be?
Plagues and everything else. How much impact did it make there locally, Nadia, there in Kyiv, Ukraine, where you've lived for a long time, when Nancy Pelosi, the congressional leader, and 6 of her fellow members of Congress showed up last weekend? I'll give them credit for going to visit, but did that resonate with the Ukrainian people in any way?
Well, we appreciate everyone's support, and it's very important when we see that such people are coming to Kiev in such difficult moments, because we have to understand that the goal of Russia, of Putin, is to change the government in Ukraine. So their goal is to get to Kiev and take Kiev, and President Zelensky and the mayor Klitschko and everything, to change everything. So this is their main goal. So when we see that different presidents of Lithuania and other countries are coming to Kiev in such a difficult time, it's like, when you have troubles, you see who is your friend, who is your real friend, who can support you really. So we appreciate it, and our soldiers and police and government do everything for safety of our guests, and it's very important right now to unite. Because if not now, it maybe will never be any other opportunities in the future like that. It's very good.
And of course, right now it's coming up on, it's about 9:40 p.m. tonight, their local time in Ukraine. So every night brings, I know this almost like muscle memory for you, that every night you don't know. It seems like it's going to be calmer, but in Mariupol and other places, it's not looking that good, and Russia may take that over, although Russia has had some big hits. One of the big stories today, is this first Russian, top-level tank. It's the T-90M, and they're saying, hey, this is our most advanced tank, and then Ukrainian forces reportedly destroyed that, turned it into toast.
Yeah, it was for breakfast,
Yeah, good morning, here's your toast.
Yeah. Well,
And yet, you're getting out to all these sites. We talked with you when you had been out to some of the nearby regions where it was just hammered in places that look very much like your neighborhood, which has not been hit by rockets specifically, but too close in some cases to your building. But the rebuilding with that, and all the talk that maybe at some point, maybe Russia gets a little more territory, and at some point there's an agreement to just say, okay, you get to keep what you have so far, Putin, and then we'll just coexist. Is that acceptable to Ukraine?
Well, no, nothing like that. That is not acceptable. One thing which is acceptable is that we're gonna fight till the end, till we kick them out from Donetsk area, from Kherson, from Lugansk, from everything, from every part of Ukraine. So this is our main goal, and our president and people of Ukraine and the Ukrainian army, we have just one goal and one plan. There is nothing like any let's sign the papers about this or that. Because as you see, and all people, normal people in the world, they see, we have an agreement, one of the agreements, and they never ever were going straight on this agreement. They were always doing something unacceptable. So we don't believe anymore in any papers, in any signatures, in any agreement. So this is it. It was the final current call for like before Mariupol for all of this agreement. So our plan, we are waiting for hard equipment, for American support and European support, which is coming, and we are planning to fight till the end. Of course, maybe something in between, it will be some kind of little agreements. I don't know, it's more diplomatical things and diplomacy, and I'm not so much good in that. Of course, it will be something, because as we see, Russian officials, they want to talk, because they do understand that they want it on this
it buys them time, and that's part of it. Nadia Gosina, who's over in Kiev, Ukraine, are you seeing that more of, because I know you're in very close contact with a lot of Ukrainian soldiers, are you seeing more of individuals who left initially, went into other countries, particularly men coming back and saying, because I've seen some stories where they've come back and said, okay, now I'm not going to be refugee status, I'm going to come home and fight for Ukraine. You running into more of that, or is that just very seldom?
There were some people who left the country, but almost it's just women with children. Very seldom when men were leaving country.
Yeah, well, the men were not. Yeah, the men were prohibited from leaving, but I know some did. Maybe they're feeling like they should come back. And of course, it's big numbers. It's millions of people.
Oh yeah. A lot of people are coming back. Not just men. Everybody are coming back, because no matter how it's good in Europe or in America, and we really treasure support from different countries, we really do. But anyways, home, it's home. Even if it's a very poor home, or it's a super luxury, suitable, fantastic house, wherever, it's your home, no matter how does it look. So people are coming back. People are really tired. People want to, because before war and before quarantine, Ukraine was step by step doing, we were doing a bit more successful than it was before, and we started to believe that we are going in the right direction. Yes, not everything is good, not everything is perfect, but we were step by step rebuilding a new country. And I think it was one of the reasons why Putin decided to destroy all that, because he saw like, oh my gosh, Ukraine is improving, Ukraine is getting better, Ukraine is getting closer to Europe, to NATO.
Yeah, and they didn't like that, whether it's NATO or not, Nadia, as you know. What's interesting is you keep seeing, talk about disinformation on the Russian side, and let's face it, there's disinformation from the U.S., and some comes from Ukraine, a lot of it comes from Russia. But I just saw that the top holy man in the Russian Orthodox Church, the patriarch of the church, was claiming that it's all fine, and Russia has not actually invaded any country. And what's really funny and disturbing, obviously, is that this patriarch is also an oligarch. So the head holy man in Russia is a buddy of Putin's, a supporter of Putin's, and he's an oligarch. But trust me, everything he says is supposedly just absolutely true. I mean, that's big time disinformation. Are you seeing, just very quickly, are you seeing food supply issues at all? Because we're seeing reports in some places, obviously Mariupol and some places like that, but in Kyiv, you still have pretty plentiful supplies and stores open. You said some more were opening up.
Well, I can tell you that when the war started, the big stores, like yours, Walmart, yes, we have the same big stores. They were open, they were working. You could buy anything you want to, except alcohol. Alcohol was prohibited. But you had a lot of plenty of different chocolates, meat, fish, everything. It was a lot. In the little stores, like little, which you have close to your apartment, like little ones, they were closed, of course, but it was a lot. And now there is a lot of things. And yes, in some places, something is more expensive, but basically it's normal. You don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is the tragedy. And it's so difficult.
So
no.
That obviously keeps the people who are fighting for Ukraine more motivated, especially there in the capital city and other places. But the battles continue in some of the usual extreme spots, and Putin continues to, in some cases, mystify people, and then he'll also come up with something that's more ruthless and unexpected. So, going to take some time. Nadia, you stay safe. We'll stay in touch as we do. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to you for your support. Hi to America, and thanks to Ukrainian heroes, Azov and Mariupol, and my friends, which are staying in the hotlines all the time. I'm just feel blessed that I can be a volunteer of these people, and I really feel blessed about that. So God bless America, God bless Ukraine, and hear you soon.
All right. God bless you, Nadia. We'll talk soon. Thank you much. Nadia Vesina, who's there in Kyiv, Ukraine.
Тож зараз я дуже хочу подякувати своїм американським друзям. Ми тільки що говорили з американською радіостанцією з Альбертом Кліфом, із Сан-Дієго. Вже я не знаю скільки, 2 місяці, війна йде, і ми постійно спілкуємося, вони постійно підтримують. Це ранкове шоу було в них зараз 10 година ранку, мені здається, чи 12, неважливо. Але ось така підтримка і розуміння того, що американці розуміють, що ми хочемо. Американці розуміють, що у нас в країні коїться. Американці завжди підтримують і надають зараз дуже важливу серйозну техніку до наших Збройних сил. Тож ми переможемо, і головне, щоб усі українці зрозуміли, усі українці, які поїхали, які залишилися, які якісь десь тут поруч, в Києві чи не в Києві, в Маріуполі чи ще десь, що цю війну ми виграємо разом з військовими. Військові самі виграють, але це війна усіх нас. Усіх. Не тільки військових. Тож, слава Україні, героям слава, Азов. Я молюся за вас, скажіть, що можна зробити, і я буду робити все, щоб поранених військових з Азову вивезти, не знаю, потрібно піти туди самою, і я піду, якщо це допоможе якось їх вивезти, не знаю. Особиста моя біль. Тож, слава Україні, почуємося.